Here's where we left it behind after the lighting lesson. I have disabled a material override so we can see the materials of the assets. We'll start with the wall material. You can see that the object has two material IDs. There will be two separate materials. In this case, let's create multi-sub-object material and set the number of materials to 2. Next, let's create two corona materials and plug them into these slots. Differentiate the colors so we can see how it works. Apply the material to the objects. Here it is. You can notice that you can see the first ID has a blue color and the second has pink color. Also, select these two objects and apply the second material to them. Awesome! Let's reset the colors to gray. The second material will be applied to your wall. Here are the textures from the reload. You can find them in your working device. I will add the color map and the ambient occlusion map to the editor. Next, let's apply the corona mix. I will plug the ambient occlusion map into the top slot and the color texture into the bottom slot. Change the mix operation to multiply. This way, we have the dark areas from the ambient occlusion map visible on the color map. It creates more depth and adds more details. That's great. Link the mix map to the base color slot. We have to add a UVW modifier and set the box mapping. I think it's too large. Let's lower it to 200 centimeters. Okay, let's copy the modifier and paste it as an instance to these two objects. I think it's still too large. Let's set it to 150 centimeters. Now I think it's perfect. Create more spacing between the material and the map and add a corona color correct map. Let's make it warmer by increasing the temperature. This way we'll achieve a nice color. Great, let's add other maps. I will add displacement, roughness, and normal map. Let's start with the roughness map. Next, plug the displacement map. We cannot plug the normal map directly into the bump slot. We need to add a corona normal in between the texture and the material. We have to check the Add Gamma to Input option. Let's start interactive rendering to see how it looks. It's way too reflective. I will add corona color correct map between the roughness texture and the material. If we lower the brightness, the maps get black. So it is not rough at all. It's super reflective. Roughness is inverse to reflectivity. And if we increase the brightness, the map gets white. So it's very rough. So not reflective at all. Obviously, it's a bit too much. So I will lower it to 0.5 or 0.6. Let's zoom in to check the displacement. Let's lower it a bit. I will go from minus value to plus value so the model is not pushed out. In this case, the value is 0.4 as we have to sum these two values. Looks good. I am happy with that. Here are the stone textures we'll be using from the second wall material. I will drag and drop the color map and the ambient occlusion the same way as before. We'll simply copy the Corona Mix map we used before and just replace the textures. Here is the difference between the normal map and the one with the ambient occlusion added on top of it. Great, let's plug it into the base color slot. As we apply this map to the same object, we have to add another map channel. Next, let's copy the UVW modifier and paste it normally, not as an instance this time. Here as well, we have to switch the map channel to 2. Let's adjust the size. Unfortunately, for some reason, the preview is not visible in the viewport. Let's start the interactive rendering to see how it looks. Now it works well. I want to have the stones way smaller though. Great. I'm very happy with this scale. Next, let's add the displacement map. For now, I will unplug the color map and use just the displacement texture, so we are not distracted by colors. Obviously, the displacement is too small, so we have to adjust it. Even more. Great, now it looks very 3D. Let's add the normal texture. I will just copy the Corona normal map from the previous material and plug it into the bump slot. Great, we are getting there. I will plug the color map back and see how it looks. Here is the difference between the map with and without the ambient occlusion. The effect is very subtle. I think the map is too contrasty. I will add the color correct map in between these two. Adjust the gamma settings. Increasing the gamma will make the map more washout, but as a result, the map gets brighter. So I will just decrease the brightness. Also, I will make it a bit warmer. Great, now I think it looks more realistic. Next, let's work on the floor tiles. It is created using the Floor Generator plugin. We use the free version so everyone can access it. If you don't have this plugin installed, we'll put the link below the video. Let's create the Corona physical material and let's add the Corona multimap to the editor. I will drag this into the base color slot. Let's apply the material to the model. Right now, we just have the green color. To fix this, we have to change the settings to face material ID. Now you can see that we have all the colors randomly distributed. Here are the textures we will be using for the floor. I will add just the color map to the editor for now and plug it into every slot of the Corona multimap map. You can see that even though we use just one texture, the multimap randomized the rotation, so the effect is not so repetitive. Let's add other maps the same way as we did before. This time we have to add our multimap in between. We can plug the map here, and it will be automatically replaced. Don't forget to add a Corona normal map before you plug the multimap into the bump slot. Again, the roughness is too low, so the floor is reflective. Let's add the Corona color correct map. I will increase the gamma so we have less contrast in the reflection and the map gets brighter. We can also reduce the contrast using this value. I think the floor is still too reflective, so I will just set the roughness to 0.7 and lower the map opacity here.